Well, Facebook has been in a lot of trouble recently. Now it's in trouble over these scam ads. What are they doing, these advertisers, that's affecting your reputation?
Well, for over a year, we've had at least 50, and that's a conservative estimate. It's very difficult to find ads out where these ads appear because they appear in people's feeds, not directly. Ads with big pictures of my face on them, saying things like, Martin Lewis has invested £250,000 in this scheme, you cannot lose money. And Martin Lewis says this is an easy way to make money at home, just put your money in here. You go through to that ad, which are normally for things like Bitcoin code or Bitcoin trading, although they're nothing to do with Bitcoin. You go through to then a fake Daily Mirror or a fake BBC website with a big article about it. If you then click through that, you get a call. And you get a call from a boiler house scheme who's scammers based outside the EU who call people up and they push hard and dangerously to get people's money.
How much money have people lost thinking that these are schemes that you're backing?
Well, the problem is people don't call me up for help. They call me up to accuse me of scamming them and stealing their money. So it's very difficult.
What's the worst case you've
Over
heard?
£100,000.
Oh.
In one case?
One lady, actually, it was a story in the Sunday Post, and we worked with them to tell her that actually, because she did it on her card, we were able to do a chargeback and get her money back. But there's a man who lost £19,000 who won't talk to me because he thinks I've scammed him. There's a woman who put 400 quid from her orphaned grandchildren who she's looking after their parents' money into one of these scams and has lost it and getting it back.
The thing is, for you, it's unbelievably damaging because this is your area of expertise. Yeah. But this is happening to a lot of high-profile people. I didn't know, but it has been happening to me. So Good Morning Britain, when they were researching this, they find this on Facebook, exactly what you talked about. It links to a Daily Mirror fake story. Obviously, I used to run that paper, so it had a sort of credence to it. And you get led through exactly to where you've been conned and scammed in this way. Here's the point I'd ask for you, Martin. What can other people do? Can they help you with this? Or is it better that you fight your battle and you set the groundwork for it?
Look, I won't lie and say some of this is a publicity stunt. I'm suing them. But I want it on the top of every news bulletin so people know that these ads are fake. Yeah. This is the problem, Piers. It's been going on a year. I have reported them to the Advertising Standards Authority, who's ruled against two, let's call them legit companies who played fast and loose with my image. But it can't rule against companies who won't talk to it. The scammers won't talk to it, and it doesn't regulate Facebook. I have reported them to the police, to Action Fraud. The FCA, the regulator, has put a warning out about them, but nothing is stopping them. Now, this is what happens. One of these comes up, someone tells me, we spend time reporting it to Facebook. If we're lucky, after a couple of weeks, Facebook takes it down, and then the next day there's a new one up. Yeah. Facebook says it doesn't publish these ads. I've said to it, you're the leader in facial recognition software. I don't do ads. I don't do any ads. Any ad with
all they have to do is put your face in, and any ad that comes up will be fake.
Or notify me and let me approve it. And I tell you what, if they said they were doing that for you, for me, for Deborah Meaden, for Peter Jones, for Richard Branson, for the diet pill adverts, the people who've been there now, you're going to have one happen to you, so that we could proactively say, notify me of ads. I'll drop the case tomorrow. I wouldn't mind some costs as well. I'll drop the case tomorrow. This isn't about a day in court. If I win in court, I will give all the money to scam charities. This is about stopping vulnerable people being scammed.
Completely,
Facebook is culpable. It is responsible. It is being paid to do this, and it needs to stop. Enough is enough.
The problem, it seems to me, is that Facebook has resolutely refused to admit it is a publisher. Well, it doesn't concede. So if you're a newspaper and this was happening, you would be accountable. If it was Good Morning Britain putting fake ads like this out and being scammed, we would be responsible. Facebook, as it's now been found to have done a lot in recent years, basically passes the buck of a publisher responsibility.
Well, more than that, it says the UK courts don't regulate it, which is one of the fights we're going to have. But this is different to a normal news, a fake news story. And it's different to a post on my Facebook page or anybody else's Facebook page. It is being paid to publish these ads.
Right.
How can it deny it is a publisher when it is being paid to promulgate these ads? And that's why, and I am bricking it, I'll be absolutely honest with you, that's why I'm taking them to court. Enough is enough.
Your timing is,
enough is enough.
Your timing is impeccable because they will not want to be, I think, contesting something like this when it's so transparent and blatant.
But I'll say here on your programme, Facebook, if you're listening, I don't want to go to court. I want you to stop allowing vulnerable people to be scammed. Come talk to me. Let's work out how we can sort this out. I'll drop the case if you stop vulnerable people being scammed.
I'd like to see the people that were scammed compensated by Facebook.
So would I.
right? Use some of that money they're not paying in tax, some of the billions that they get away with, and pay back these poor people who've been conned by believing they're buying into you and your brand and reputation.
It says here, Facebook say they don't allow adverts which are misleading.
Well, how are they appearing then? How's that
There's one last night. There's one last night, even as I posted this happening.
They say they've been in direct contact with your team, offering to help and promptly investigate the requests, and adverts and accounts that violated advertising policies have been taken down. But it sounds a bit like you're playing whack-a-mole
what
with
Facebook
these
is saying,
adverts.
I have to police Facebook.
Exactly.
Facebook needs to police Facebook.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't. Why should I have a member of my team working on this to report constantly? I'm not being paid for these adverts. They're being paid. Facebook needs to police Facebook.
Facebook's time of passing the buck from its own responsibility is over.